What's going on, guys? It's Erica with Not Your Average EDC, and tonight we're going to look at the 3 knives that got picked for testing for June. Yes, 3 knives. I will explain why and what happened. But first, what are we sipping? What are we flipping? That's important. We're flipping this. That's a hint to what we'll be testing next month, right? Flipping a K390 Para 3 and sipping a Time Crystals from Spyglass. This is a fruited sour ale. This one, I think I've talked about it before, but in case you've forgotten, strawberries, raspberries, black currants, vanilla, granola, cinnamon, and molasses. I didn't even clink, you guys. Cheers. Okay, let's talk about how the voting went and what's happening for next month, right? So I put up a vote on my last video for what you guys would want to see tested in June, and I basically said pick 2 knives because I have plenty of knives to choose from and we'll just pick 2, right? However, I made the mistake of saying that the Para 3 in K390 and the Delica in K390 are they're a package deal, right? Because I really want to see how the Japanese does versus the USA. And go figure, like, everyone wanted to see K390 and everyone wanted to see Spy 27. And the votes were really close. There were, a couple things that didn't get that many votes, but like some of them kind of surprised me. A lot of people really wanted to see the BD1N, which was kind of surprising to me, and the S45VN. But tallied them up, put them all together. This is the vote. So we're going to carry 3 knives next month. And I think what I'm going to do is, instead of carrying a fixed blade for all of the, the wet environment stuff at work, because that's what I usually use a fixed blade for, is the produce work, essentially. I think I'm actually going to assign this as my fixed blade for the month. Spy 27 is supposed to be highly corrosion resistant. It's supposed to be very stainless. So I think what I'll do is I will not carry a fixed blade at all next month, and we will designate the Spy 27 to that type of work, right? So this will be in a lot of wet environments, doing a lot of produce work, and a lot of hard use in a different way, I guess. Like, some of the produce, processing it is like a lot of work for a knife, especially the cabbage stems. Like, when you're processing cabbage or any type of vegetable, like from its raw state, or like in a garden, or trimming it, like it can dull a knife pretty quickly. So this will be the fixed blade for next month, and it will really put the stainless capabilities to the test of Spy 27. And then my dirty work kind of utility knives will be the K390s, because these are absolutely not stainless. If I were to use these for the food prep stuff and the farm work with the fruits and veggies, they would just rust up immediately. They would be wet all the time, and they would just be in bad shape. So these will be the box cutters, the package cutters, the plastic cutters, the rope cutters, the vegetable tray cutters. These will do everything else, and I will really be collecting a lot of data on how these compare head to head, the USA versus the Japanese, right? So, excuse me. That is what we're going to test for June, I think. I will do normal EDC tasks with this as well, so I think what I'll do is use this as my fixed blade at work, and then when I get home, I will put these away for the day, because these will do plenty of EDC tasks at work, and then I will just carry the native for the rest of the night, and this will do all of my work at home. So this will go from kind of a produce trimming knife at work to a regular EDC knife, maybe even hard use at my house, if that makes any sense. So it'll get plenty of all-around use, lots and lots of use during its testing, and these guys will really get to do a lot of stuff at work and see if they are any different, right? Wow, it's so windy. It's like making me look like I'm huge. Woo! Okay, so yeah, that is kind of like what the results showed. I have a different pocket clip on the way for this. I have an MXG Gear pocket clip that'll be here in a couple days for this because the stock clips are essentially garbage from Spyderco. I literally had this one in my pocket the other day. I don't even remember what I picked up at work, but I picked something up and this just went like flying out of my pocket. So I probably should put something different on this too. But I'm really curious to see how these steels do for a month. That's going to be really exciting. I'm also very excited because I carried the Spy 27 today. Like you can see, that's just like yuckies. That's not patina or anything. That'll just wash off. But I did carry this today at work for the first time, and it feels interesting in a good way. It feels interesting. It is very sharp, very fine, but has a type of bite that I haven't really felt before. And if you've tried to cut zip ties with a pocket knife before, you would know it has to be pretty sharp, which sounds silly because it's just plastic, but like they're so awkward and like thin, and you just kind of have to have a good bite to get through a zip tie, especially if it's in an awkward place, right? To kind of pop it off. And this thing just melted through the zip ties like butter. I had secured a little piping thing at work, and I zip tied it because we're hillbillies. I went to go cut off the tag ends, and then this just melted through like butter. And I guess I'm not used to knives like melting through them. I'm used to kind of just like having to put a little bit of effort behind it, I guess. Not because the knives are dull, but zip ties are just awkward sometimes. And the Spy 27 just like literally melted right through it. And it got me thinking about how interesting it is that we make so many knives out of steels that were not designated for knives, you know, like Maximate and stuff, and we get like obsessed. We get all excited. Like, even in my opinion, the composition of M390 is like odd, I guess. But there are some knife steels out there that aren't really supposed to be knife steels, and we use them as such. And sometimes they do well with specific tasks. But it's interesting when you have a steel that was specifically created for knives, like S30V, S35VN, S45VN, MagnaCut. It's interesting how you can literally tell the difference with certain things when a knife steel was created specifically to actually be a knife, to actually be like a slicing tool, right? In an everyday carry situation. And I'm not like crapping on any of the steels. I'm not crapping on anything. I like Maximate. I think it's great. But it's interesting how you can feel kind of what it was designated for, I guess. Sometimes you can just feel it with certain tasks, like, oh yeah, you were made for this. So those are the testing knives for next month. I'm really excited to test Spy 27. This is something I've been very interested in for quite some time. And same with K390. I have been using this, but not consecutively, and I'm really excited to test both of these and see if there's any differences between where they were made and stuff. But that's all I've really got for you guys, just a quick update. I have beers to drink and things to not do, so I will catch you guys on the next video, and please go use your shit. Please go use your shit. Don't break the tips off of your knives. You're gonna blow away. But like, go use your shit for the most part, right? Like, go actually use it. And I will see you on the next video. Cheers.